All right, so this first clip comes from the most recent major tournament that happened in China. I don't know at what point in the game they are. We'll watch them play it here. So, oh yeah, so this is a clip of someone showing it off. So they're using Archeops here, I believe. Using Archeops, and they put a card at the bottom of their deck. Oh, they put Marnie. It's a Marnie. So they put a Marnie at the bottom of their deck. So they must need a Marnie this turn or something. So they put the Marnie at the bottom of their deck, and then they ask their opponent to show them their energy in their discard pile, and then they drop the Marnie into their hand, right there. And then they shuffle. Did they even take anything there off the shuffle? What I think they're using Archeops. Did they just like use Archeops and fail it? They use Archeops. I think it's using Archeops. I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, the person is like signaling the capture energy. So maybe they took a capture off the Archeops. They put a Marnie on the bottom of the deck. They ask their opponent how many energy are in their discard pile. And then the opponent goes to like show off how many energy, and they drop the Marnie into their hand. And then they have the Marnie in the hand for later in the turn. They might just show this multiple times. Yeah, I have to assume that that person got banned. I don't know when this was caught, but I don't know if they got DQ'd. The other one is definitely a little bit more funny. So I think this happened in a League Cup in Peru. That's what I was. That's what I saw in the initial tweet. I think this one's funnier though for sure. So they're setting up to play the game. They roll the die, and then when I first watched this clip, I actually didn't understand what happened at all. I watched this clip 2 times. I didn't understand what happened, but they put a stack of cards from their pocket or something on top of the deck here. I can't watch it. Can you watch this in slow-mo on Twitter? Oh, playback speed. Okay, so we can go 0.25. Roll the coin. They decide who goes first. And then it must come from their pocket or something like that. They just have it in their pocket. And then they draw the perfect 7 to begin the game. What this reminded me of, though, when I thought of it was when people say stuff like this deck doesn't work for me, but my friend always draws the perfect cards. When someone says like, "Oh, Charizard doesn't really work for me, but my friend always draws perfectly with the deck." This is what that's what that popped into my head when I saw that. It's just like maybe your friend is putting the perfect 7 cards on top of their deck. The camera is right there. What are they even thinking? I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And this is like, if you just think about the amount of Pokemon, it is interesting to think about though. If you think about the amount of Pokemon games that are streamed versus not streamed, like what is the actual number of people who are cheating and doing things like this? Like this cheat here, or like this cheat, this one here. Like how many people are actually doing this? Because the amount of games that are on camera on stream is not that many. So then how many people are doing this off stream? Although like another thing you could like factor into that as well would be like the people, theoretically, if you're cheating, you're going to be more successful than the average player. So there's a higher chance that you do make it to stream, but it's got to be like, it does make you think about how high of a percentage of things like this are actually happening out there. It's actually got to be probably higher than I think. Definitely way higher than what gets caught. It's kind of unfortunate to think about, to be honest, like how many people are actually like doing these kind of maneuvers at tournaments. It's kind of unfortunate to think about, to be honest. But there's like, it's like impossible to like, unless you catch it in the moment, unless you see your opponent doing it, it's really hard to like stop these kind of things from happening, right? It's really hard to like crack down on cheating. I mean, the only thing you can do, I guess, is like when people get caught is like zero tolerance, right? Just insta DQ, insta ban. At least year time ban. Like whenever one of these things happens, I guess the only thing you can do is kind of instill fear into the community of like, if you get caught, you're just done. You're cooked. Like maybe it should be permabans. I don't know. Like, because like that's the only thing you can really do to like prevent cheating like this, right? It's like to set a precedent for like, if you do it, you're done. You're cooked. You're banned. That's it. You're done. Permabanned. It's all over. I don't know. Because there's no other real way to, like, you can't monitor it more than it's already being monitored, right? Like, there's judges on the floor, but no judge is sitting around and watching one game for longer than like 10-20 seconds, right? They're just kind of walking around and they're just there to respond to players. I guess like another thing that can be put out there is like helping players recognize when things are happening. Like, I don't know, maybe I could put out like a video being like, look out for these things. I don't even know what that like list of things would actually be, but yeah, helping players try and recognize when things are happening. I guess like another thing on top of that as well, maybe like the first step would just be like, dude, there's so many stories. I hear so many stories about this, and even people in chat bring it up all the time. It's like, my opponent did this shady thing, but I didn't call over a judge. Like, there was literally one last week where someone in chat was like, my opponent did this thing, and I was like, well, it sounds like you should have called over a judge. And I was like, I was too tired to call over a judge. It's like it is on the players to some point, to some extent as well, to be honest. Not even just like TPCI or whatever tournament organizer it is to have like a no tolerance policy of, if you do this thing, you're DQ'd, you're banned. The players also need to, like, I think, step up in some regard and like start calling over judges more. The amount of stories I hear and the amount of times like people bring up questions in chat about these situations where they don't call over a judge is like shockingly high. Like, these things that people mention in chat or stories that I hear from people, it's like, if these things happen to me, I would instantly call over a judge. How are you guys not calling over judges instantly? Like, I don't understand. So there's like definitely some amount of it is on the player base to like more aggressively call over judges for sure.